Hey guys, wanted to do a video about what homesteading was really look like, or sustainability, or self-sufficiency, or survivability. Looks like a pile of horse manure in a borrowed truck, because that's the kind of thing that's the vast majority of what you'll be doing, whether you want to be a homesteader or a neo-pioneer, or whether you think the world's going to end and we're going to have to all fend for ourselves. We all like to get, we all like to talk about the guns and the combat and the tactical side of things and security, and I know I do. It's a fun topic. I've got 2 videos now with over 1,000 views. Both of them are about guns. I have videos about gardening and homesteading and whatnot that have under 30 views, barely over 20 views. And those are the important ones. Those are the ones that the things that people need to be focused on. This one will probably only get 20 or 30 views. Because if you're interested in any of those areas, sustainability, self-sufficiency, survivability, what matters is being able to grow food. Bottom line, nothing else matters if you can't produce enough calories to keep yourself going. It doesn't matter if you can defend what you have when what you have is valueless to people. If you honestly believe we're going to the zombie apocalypse and everyone's going to be running around trying to survive, the only thing that matters is calories. The only thing that matters is calories. And none of us are prepared. Very few people are prepared to produce the amount of calories it would take to keep themselves alive. Think about it. A grown man needs 1,500 to 2,000 calories a day. Multiply that times 365, and you're looking at hundreds of thousands of calories. I should have done that math before I got in front of the camera. But what is that going to be, like 7 million calories? I'll do the math. I'm going to be embarrassed. But 365 times 2,000 is a lot. Now multiply that times how many people are in your family. How many people you're going to want to try to keep up. And even if you don't believe in the zombie apocalypse and Teowaki and world without rule of law, even if you're interested in food independence, food security, if you want, if you're worried about GMO, the genetically modified crops, any of that stuff, you have to produce your own food, and there's no easy way to do that, despite what all the videos out there will tell you. Back to Eden, which is a great system, nothing wrong with Back to Eden. I like Back to Eden, but it's very labor intensive. I don't know if you've ever tried to chip wood before. I know they talk about finding your wood chips for free and everything, but that is not easy to find anymore. Wood chips suck up vast amounts of resources to chip wood. And any of these others, raised bed gardens, you've got to make those raised beds, and then you have to fill them with loads of manure. So no matter which way you go on this, it is through toil and hard labor that we will get our food from the ground, and there's no way around that. And that's what we've got to start focusing on, the hard work it takes to be self-sufficient. In a culture that wants us to be dependent, in the culture that wants us to be like everybody else, in a culture that wants us to eat, all their chemicalized sugar food choices they have for us. It's hard, boring, labor-intensive work to break free from that system. And that's what we're trying to accomplish here. The end of the world, the apocalypse, all that is a fun way to give it urgency and to give it the right amount of, because it's that important. It really is that important. But we might not ever have a collapse like we talk about, but that that mindset, that level of preparedness fits in and gives us a focal point for what we are trying to do here, which is to clock out of this society that we think is tearing the human soul apart. And there's no way to do it except with just hard work. This manure is from a local livestock auction. It's free. They load it up for you if they're there. If they're not there, you get to load it for yourself. And we try to cover the whole garden with at least a thin layer of it every year. Last year was the first year we really managed to do it. But this year I'm going to try even a little bit harder. So it's an example of you don't have to spend money to do this kind of stuff. You have to improve your soil. You've got to put, you can't just take out of the soil. You've got to put back into the soil. But you don't have to go buy chemical fertilizers and spend big money to do it. You can find the local livestock auction, and they'll probably beg you to take loads of manure off their hands and spread it on your place. That's it, guys. The guns are fun. The tactics are fun. All that stuff is good stuff to know, although not for the reasons we think. You know, the real enemy is not Negan coming to steal your food. The real reason we need to be armed and prepared from a tactical standpoint is because of the government. The government is always our biggest threat and our greatest enemy. Take that for what it's worth. But what we really have to do, what will really fire a shot across the bow of this horrific system we're living under, is if more people just stop being afraid of the hard work and the drudgery it takes to be free of the system. Because that's what most preppers and everybody want. They're not really interested in an EMP wiping out society. They want to be free of this oppressive system that especially for men runs down our souls and just grinds us into the dust. The problem is that we all want the convenience and the ease that system gives us, and that's what we've got to be willing to clock out of. We've got to be willing to clock into the hard work with long-term rewards and non-tangible rewards, and give up some of these short-term, more tangible rewards like leisure and electronics and double stuff Oreos and Coca-Colas, to name a few of my personal weaknesses. And we got to start shoveling some shit, man. I mean, that's all there is to it. We've got to start shoveling some shit. We got to shovel the shit out of our lives. We got to shovel some shit into our gardens. And we got to start growing some stuff. Anyway, thanks.